Just imagine this for a second. You get a notification today that says, live action adaptation announced. Which anime would make you jump out of your seat? And which one would make you go, don't you dare touch that? That's exactly what I wanted to find out. So I researched the anime fans most want to see as live action movies or series, and I put the 10 most talked about picks into one video. I'll go through each one quickly. Why people want it so badly, what could look absolutely legendary in live action, and where it could completely crash and burn. And if you love anime and adaptation debates, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're ready. Let's start with the first anime. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is one of the top series fans want to see in live action. It was even ranked near the top in a 2021 poll of Japanese viewers centered around the question, should Hollywood make a live-action adaptation? And honestly, there's a very clear reason for that interest. The story hits hard emotionally, character motivations could become even more powerful through real actor performances, and if the visual language is done right, Tanjiro's journey could be absolutely devastating in the best cinematic way. But the adaptation side of Demon Slayer is a total minefield. One of the things that makes Demon Slayer is the stylized spectacle of the breathing techniques and that smooth, flowing, anime-style action. In live action, you either drown it in CGI and make it look fake, or you ground it too much and kill the series' chemistry. So what fans actually want isn't a one-to-one copy, it's a serious tone movie or series with sword choreography plus practical effects plus tasteful VFX balance, keeping demon designs scary without turning them into cartoons. If that balance is nailed, especially the early major missions, and the moments when the Hashira enter the story would look incredible in live action. Attack on Titan is another one of the most asked about series where fans keep saying, could this finally get a good live action? In that same 2021 poll among Japanese viewers about a Hollywood adaptation, Attack on Titan ranked near the top right behind Demon Slayer. And the reason is obvious. The story already runs on massive set pieces, walls, cities, the scout regiment, and that constant end-of-the-world feeling. With the right cinematography in a series format, it could hit unbelievably hard. But the biggest make-or-break point is the Titan's design and the speed language of the action. The horror factor comes from Titan faces, and the ODM gear scenes are insanely dynamic. The wrong VFX or weak choreography will instantly make everything look plastic. And part of the Hollywood expectation comes from fans who weren't satisfied with past local live-action attempts and still believe it can be done better. With the right team, especially the tension of the first season and the huge turning points would be legendary in live action. Jujutsu Kaisen is also one of those series people constantly say would destroy the internet as live action. In that 2021 poll asking Japanese viewers which anime manga they'd want as a Hollywood live-action adaptation, Jujutsu Kaisen ranked high and clearly stood out. And the demand makes total sense to me. It already has a modern city atmosphere, a dark tone, and characters with strong personalities, so the world could translate really well through real acting. But the critical part is making the curse techniques and fight choreography look believable without losing that anime speed. Because Jujutsu Kaisen isn't just fistfighting. It's that invisible threat, the rituals, domain expansions, and sudden bursts of visual insanity. Live action could either over-digitalize it and make it feel fake, or simplify it too much and kill the series' identity. What fans really want is practical effects plus solid VFX balance, brutal choreography, and directing that keeps the horror thriller tone intact. Naruto is one of the biggest brands where people have waited for years thinking, somebody please do this right. In that same type of 2021 poll among Japanese viewers, Naruto ranked high as well, showing the fan demand is still insanely strong. Because at its core, Naruto is extremely cinematic. An emotional underdog story, mentor-student relationships, friendship and betrayal, and a world that expands bigger and bigger with every arc. But at the same time, Naruto might be one of the riskiest adaptations on this entire list. Ninja techniques, eye powers, giant beasts, and especially transformation. Jutsu scenes can quickly start feeling like cosplay if they're handled wrong. And then you've got the hairstyles, costumes, and symbols. If you copy them too literally, it can look silly, but if you change them too much, fans will say, this isn't Naruto. So the smartest approach, in my opinion, is keeping the tone serious while modernizing the visual language. Start smaller with early missions, lock in the team dynamics and emotional core, then spread the bigger battles across seasons. That keeps the budget realistic and preserves Naruto's soul. Detective Conan is one of the safest brands on this list, one of those where fans say, if this becomes live action, I'm watching. Its high ranking in that 2021 poll shows it's not just nostalgia, there's still a real demand. And the reason is simple. Conan already lives on a realistic foundation built around mystery and suspense. So the risk of losing the magic when you bring it into the real world is much lower here. The main challenge in live action is getting the tone right. If it becomes too cartoony, it loses seriousness. If it gets too dark, it loses that classic weekly case comfort. So, the best formula is a high production series. Each episode has a strong case, with main story clues sprinkled in and a big knot to untie in the season finale. That structure can pull in new viewers while giving longtime fans the smart, fast, cinematic Conan vibe they want. Slam Dunk constantly stands out because it's one of the easiest series to translate to live action. In Vivian's poll of 1,000 people asking which anime, manga they'd want as a Hollywood live-action adaptation, Slam Dunk landed in the top 10 inches, the same tier as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and My Hero Academia. And it makes sense. You don't need massive CGI armies to build this world. It's high school basketball, character drama, and rivalry. With the right cast, the right school atmosphere, and well-shot game scenes, it can shine with real actors without losing the anime feel. But the easy option has its own trap. If the basketball scenes are shot badly, everything instantly turns into a parody of a sports show. A live-action Slam Dunk needs directing that understands real basketball rhythm and actors who look believable on the court. The games also can't be told only through the score, they have to be told through character growth. And Slam Dunk's biggest strength is how it can carry drama and comedy in the same episode. If live action nails that, it can deliver nostalgia and pull in people who don't even care about sports just because the team's story hooks them. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is another one that always comes up whenever people talk about the live-action dream. In Vivian's poll, JoJo was listed in a tie with My Hero Academia and Slam Dunk in the top 10. And I think the reason is this. JoJo's world is so iconic that with the right cast and the right style, even a single scene could go viral. The charisma, the theatrical weight of the dialogue, and the constantly shifting atmosphere from part to part could create an insanely strong live-action identity. But adapting JoJo is also one of the hardest jobs imaginable, because the soul of JoJo is the style, the poses, the exaggerated expressions, the weird fashion language, and the visual storytelling of stand powers. Live action can either take itself too seriously and kill the fun, or lean too far into parody and destroy the charisma. So, the smartest approach, in my opinion, is treating each part like its own season. The tone, colors, music, and cast stay intentionally fresh each season, while stands are shown less but better, using staging and creative VFX instead of pointless CGI flexing. My Hero Academia is another series fans have been saying for years would fit live action perfectly, and its top 10 placement in Vivian's poll alongside JoJo and Slam Dunk proves that. The story already takes place in a modern world, the character dynamics are strong, and the hero school concept could become a smooth, bingeable series or film rhythm with the right cast. What makes this even more interesting is that this isn't just a dream adaptation, it's an actual project in development. In 2025, there were writer announcements and creative team updates for the live-action film being developed through a Netflix and Legendary partnership, and it's also been talked about that creator Kohei Horikoshi is closely involved in the development process. Even so, there's still no clear release date, and the news suggests production likely won't truly heat up until 2026 at the earliest. Hunter x Hunter is another one where fans say, if Hollywood does this right, it could be legendary. And it also makes the top 10 inches Vivian's poll of 1,000 Japanese participants. I think the biggest reason is how the world starts with a grounded adventure tone, and then grows darker and more layered over time. Gon's seemingly simple goal, the exams, the guild system, and then Nen opens up this insane set of power rules. If written well, a live-action series could grow season by season and keep viewers completely hooked. But the hardest part is also right there. The Nen system is difficult to explain. In live action, it can either become boring because of too much exposition, or confusing because it isn't explained clearly enough. And then there's the tone problem. This series can make you laugh in one episode and hit you like a punch to the throat in the next. For a live-action adaptation to work, it has to keep the adventure energy while never breaking seriousness during the darker moments. Fans don't just want a big budget, they want clear storytelling and disciplined tone control. Spy X Family keeps ranking high on live-action wish lists because it's one of the most fun franchises of the last few years. And the concept sells itself in one sentence. A secret agent dad, an assassin mom, and a telepath kid, all pretending to be the perfect family. That idea can work in live action as a series with comedy, action, and warm family dynamics, and the Mission of the Week format keeps it addictive without exhausting viewers. With the right casting, Lloyd's cool professionalism, Yor's deadly but awkward energy, and Anya's meme-level reactions would create moments that explode on social media every single week. But Spy X Family's biggest test is exactly that. The child actor playing Anya has to be more than just cute. They have to carry the inner voice comedy rhythm, or the magic drops by half. And tone balance is everything. If it's too cartoony, it becomes cringe. If it's too realistic, it loses the anime energy. The best formula, in my opinion, is building that Cold War-inspired city vibe with stylish production design, keeping action clean with solid choreography, and letting the comedy land through facial expressions and timing. And that brings us to the end of the video. Now here's what I really want to know from you. If you had to pick just one anime from this list, which live-action adaptation would you want to see the most and why? And let me flip it. Is there one on this list where you'd say, don't touch it, no live action? Write both in the comments your favorite and the one you think is the riskiest. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe for more anime lists and adaptation discussions. See you in the next one.